So I'm still thinking about how calm, cool, and collected Megan was throughout this whole Operation Amputation situation. And I just wonder, how did she stay so calm, cool, and collected and just like so easily checkmated them? Because she is and has always been playing chess, and these other bozos are playing checkers, right? And I love to see it. I love to see it. And it's funny because I'm like, so where do they go from here? The Daily Mail, I think the plot has been foiled. I mean, they were going to get a good couple of weeks of like, headlines that I mean, I can't even tell you the word for those headlines. I mean, the headlines they imagined, and the circus, the chaos, the name calling, the fakery, you know, Samantha chiming in and Thomas Markle Jr. chiming in, although he's apparently doing a pretty good job with chiming in anyway. I haven't listened to the videos, but I heard they're pretty vile. I also heard bizarrely that Samantha Markle and Thomas Markle are having a public spat. Is that true? Because I haven't really seen anything of it. Is it on Twitter? If it's on Twitter, then that might explain why I haven't seen anything of it. Be pretty incredible to know that that's true, that Samantha and Thomas Markle Jr. are fighting and apparently over money, and who's unstable and who's not, or wild stuff like that. Could that be true? That's as ridiculous as Dan Wooten fighting with Piers Morgan, right? But anyway, the way that Megan just remained so calm, cool, and collected was it was a master class, and I started calling her just today really for fun. Megan 007 Sussex. I have a video with that title, as a matter of fact, a couple of videos ago that you should check out if you haven't listened to it. And I was just completely kidding about it. But then as the day wore on, I started to think, wait a second, you know, that would be really interesting. Have they had a female James Bond as yet? Because I obviously have not been to the movies in about not 2 decades, a decade and a half. So I don't know what's going on in the movies. But the last time went to the movies, 007 might have been played by Pierce Brosnan. No, no, no. There was a guy after Pierce. There was Daniel something or the other. So he was the last James Bond I saw. So is it time for a new James Bond? And that should be Megan, Duchess of Sussex. I mean, she did step back into acting with a cameo in a movie, or I think it's a movie coming up soon with the actress Lily Collins and others. And I just thought, what about Megan as 007? You heard it here first, okay? I have all these brilliant ideas. Nobody ever listens to me. Nobody ever listens to me. I just don't understand it. But I just think Megan as 007, because the way she pulled off that secret delivery of the letter to her father, for all we know, she delivered it herself. If we ever found out that she delivered it herself, then definitely yes, she's the next 007. And even if she didn't deliver it herself, I still think that would be like an amazing movie, and people would watch. A lot of people would hate watch, obviously. We know the movie would be number one in the UK, number one in Ireland, and so on. And they will all claim that they were hate watching. I don't know what I did, but I seem to have slightly injured myself. Um, so yeah, so a lot of people would be hate watching, and but it would just be a blockbuster. You know what I mean? A total blockbuster. Megan is 007. I just love it. Anyway, as I said, I really am impressed with her restraint in the situation, her class, her professionalism, her her calm. I mean, she spoke when she did speak. She spoke through her spokesperson, but it is clear that this is exactly, her spokespeople said exactly what she wanted to say to the Daily Mail. I mean, they are completely unethical. And she basically just told them off, chef's kiss. That was another video I did as well. Just very chef's kiss, very classy. And I just thought, wow, how does this woman, stay so calm? Or how did she stay so calm in this situation? Again, she was always playing chess, and she's always going to be playing chess, and she's always going to checkmate them. I was reading a Substack tonight, and it seems like the new wave of attacks will be coming from the Kate angle. Like, someone wrote this Substack where they're saying that Meghan's plan to, I guess, outshine Kate for Kate's Christmas concert at Westminster Abbey backfired. The word backfired is now going to be like, the word of, the month, I guess. I did a video where I said that um, the plot to sabotage Meghan had backfired, and all of a sudden everybody's like backfired, backfired, backfired. So now they're now taking that word and using it against Meghan, where they're saying that Meghan's plan to overshadow Kate's Christmas concert backfired because, I guess, of this whole thing with the amputated leg. And I was just like, seriously? Are we really gonna go there? I mean, not for nothing, but Kate's Christmas concert was overshadowed anyway, not for nothing. But like I said, nobody really spoke about it. Not even pro Sussex, pro Wales media. They didn't say anything about it. And yes, I mean, it happened on the 5th, I think. And, this whole thing with Thomas Markle happened on the the 3rd. So, she had 2 full days where the media, the cycle, the news cycle could have circled back to her if she had compelling content. And it didn't. It has stayed on Meghan. It was on Meghan before Meghan's Netflix Christmas special aired. It stayed on Meghan for the Christmas special, and the Christmas special, again, is in the top 10 of Netflix. And then, of course, the Operation Amputation happened. And so it's been on Meghan all this time. And then, of course, Meghan chastising the Daily Mail, telling them how unethical they are, and successfully delivering a handwritten note to her father unobtrusively, again, is another news cycle that's going to take a couple of days for people to digest. So at what point are they saying that, Kate shone to the point that Meghan's plot, quote unquote, backfired? I mean, first of all, Meghan never had a plot. Meghan has just been busy being Meghan. Meghan has just been busy being a working woman, right? She has a business, and she is working with her business, in her business, and she promotes her business, and she makes appearances and PR for her projects. None of this has anything to do with Kate. And look, I don't want to like be negative all the time about Kate. And it's easy to sort of fall into that. And so I'm trying not to do that without a good reason. I mean, so I'm not trying to knock Kate, but I'm just saying that if you're going to say that somehow Kate's Christmas concert was, you know, anything other than what it was, then, I have to refute it respectfully because it's not true. And I don't think Megan is trying to do anything, but all attention is simply on Megan. This is a fact.